In this short video, we will introduce the new redundant SCADAPack 470R, which provides high availability control for remote locations and harsh environments. First, a review of the SCADAPack RTU that the redundant SCADAPack 470R is based on. SCADAPacks are rugged remote terminal units, or RTUs, used for process automation, asset management, data logging, and more. They are designed to operate in geographically dispersed, remote, and harsh environments. SCADAPacks combine the communication and monitoring capabilities of an RTU with the processing and data logging power of a PLC. They support open protocols like Modbus and DNP3 Level 4 with secure authentication. In short, SCADAPacks can be used wherever remote automatic supervision and autonomous control is required. Now let's introduce the SCADAPack 470R. The 470R offers redundant control and DNP3 event management using two connected SCADAPacks for high availability systems where downtime simply cannot be tolerated. 470R is capable of providing control, event logging, and telemetry communications as with any other SCADAPack model. It may be specified for use with key assets and remote infrastructure, such as extremely remote locations, critical processes, or where regulations require redundant control. One 470R acts as the primary controller, while the second acts as the standby controller. If the primary controller becomes inactive, 470R provides seamless assumption of control by the standby unit, helping to prevent disruption of communications or operations. SCADAPack 470R communications, hardware functions, and I/O are configured with the Remote Connect software tool, and the SCADAPack Logic Editor, based on Modicon's Control Expert, works with Remote Connect to provide IEC 61131-3 logic programming capability. The 470R adds redundancy to remote operations with minimal additional engineering effort. This will be explored in more detail later. Support is provided for Role-Based Access Control, or RBAC, and the 470R interfaces with standard IT tools such as Active Directory, CyberArk, and Syslog. Configurable web server functionality is included as well. Here's a close-up look at the redundant SCADAPack 470R hardware and the interconnecting cables. One 470R will be configured as RTU-A and the other as RTU-B. The currently active RTU is called the primary, and the other is the standby RTU. An Ethernet cable between the sync Ethernet ports of the two RTUs provides data synchronization using a provided Cat5e cable, and a serial null modem cable between the sync serial ports provides RTU state synchronization. Multiple LEDs are also provided on both devices to inform the user about current redundancy status. The SCADAPack 470R provides high availability for remote operations. 470R helps operations to continue in the most critical situations by including a standby controller, which remains ready to automatically continue operations in situations where no interruption of the process can be tolerated. Control of key processes is maintained through the use of redundant IEC logic. A SCADAPack 470R installation helps to preserve telemetry communications to important remote assets. This enables the retention of DNP3 event data, with events stored on both the primary and standby controllers. And 470R can be integrated with the hot swappable and hardened Modicon Edge I/O NTS Remote I/O. Minimal additional effort is required to configure a SCADAPack 470R. Users can develop redundant functionality simply by selecting the SCADAPack 470R controller type in the Remote Connect project settings. There's no need to modify the logic or the RTU configuration. When the standby controller is connected to the primary, it automatically receives a copy of the primary's firmware, configuration, and logic application. This can help to minimize field service efforts. The primary and standby controllers will automatically change over during an application or firmware upgrade, helping to seamlessly continue operations. The standby controller can be configured to assume the IP address of the primary controller when it becomes the primary, helping to enable easy integration with SCADA systems such as EcoStruxure GeoSCADA Expert. The SCADAPack 470R hardware, in addition to being redundant, is designed to be rugged. As with other SCADAPack models, the 470R is optimized to operate in remote locations and harsh environments. The ruggedized hardware is designed to operate for many years with low power consumption and operation on 11 to 30 volts DC for sites at the edge. A wide operating temperature range of -40 to +70 degrees, protection from extremely humid and corrosive environments with a G3 conformal coating on the circuit board. A design that withstands heavy vibration, meeting the IEC 61131-2 standard, and with hazardous locations certifications, including Class 1 Division 2 and ATEX IEC-EX Zone 2. Next, let's take a look at the Schneider Electric Modicon Edge Remote I/O. As I/O must be available to both 470R RTUs, SCADAPack expansion modules, which connect to one RTU, are not available for 470R installations. Instead, the Modicon Edge I/O NTS Hardened Remote I/O is recommended. It meets the same environmental specifications as the SCADAPack 470R, and all Modicon Edge I/O modules are hot swappable, making repairs and expansion easier. Whenever expansion I/O is required in a redundant SCADAPack 470R installation, the 470Rs are configured to pull the edge island with configurable Modbus scanners provided by Remote Connect. The Edge I/O network interface module includes 2 LAN ports, so both 470Rs can connect to it. Then, if a changeover occurs, the standby RTU, on becoming primary, quickly takes over polling of the remote I/O. Now here's a closer look at a typical SCADAPack 470R installation that includes Modicon NTS Edge Remote I/O. You can see that both RTUs are connected to the dual-port network interface module through network cables. The NIM also includes a USB Type-C port for configuration and diagnostics. The Edge Island includes a power supply that provides 24 volts DC as well as power to the bus, and a variety of expansion I/O modules. Near the end are blank dummy modules, in this case, which can be replaced with I/O modules without removing power. The redundant SCADAPack 470R helps to connect site operators to their remote assets, as the 470R can host site-specific web applications. End users can develop web applications with the EcoStruxure RTU Operations Expert, or Arrow, software tool, or with Node-RED logic. This can provide tool-less dashboard-style user interfaces for operators to monitor and control their sites. Operators can use a browser on their phone, PC, or tablet to connect. SCADAPack 470R helps to provide OT security out at the edge, with its support for Role-Based Access Control, or RBAC, as well as standard IT and OT security tools, including directory services like Active Directory, privileged access management or PAM tools like CyberArk and SolarWinds, and syslog to automatically monitor network and device health. These features enable the user to limit access to authorized users while specifying their roles, privileges, and assets of interest, enable OT or IT security to manage user access and network health using tools they know, help to provide OT security with an integrated firewall as well as NAT to control IP communications, and enhance telemetry communication security with DNP3 secure authentication. The SCADAPack 470R is tested with standard security tools such as Achilles Level 2 and Synopsys Defensix to help demonstrate its security capabilities. Thank you for your interest in the new SCADAPack 470R Hardened Redundant RTU. For further information, please check out our website, se.com, and our other videos on YouTube.